And we go. So, yeah, this is the TRU Bench, the very first episode, and we have uh, we have some fans on the show today. Like I said, this is going to be a show by fans from all over the world, and we're going to be talking EPL. We're going to be talking other European leagues. We're going to be talking international football sometimes, and we're going to be talking about all this from fans' perspective, for fans who also understand the game. So we're going to be going technical and tactical, but we're going to be also saying it as we see it. If we think coaches are not doing what they're supposed to do, we'll talk about it. If we think the football club is not being run the way it should be run, we'll talk about it. And we're just here to have a really engaging conversation. And we want you, the audience, to be part of this as well. So throughout the conversation, we're going to ask questions. We're going to ask about your thoughts, and we're just going to take it from there. But I'm not doing this alone. I have two other gentlemen on the panel with me today. So my name is Wale, and that's it. I support Chelsea, as you can see. We're currently the club world champion. We're the top team in the world. Nobody can argue that. If you want to argue with your phone. But with me today, I also have Sukkie. Sukkie will tell you about what club he supports. It's not my job to tell you about his club. He's going to talk about it. And we have Rob. Rob is also going to talk to you about what club he supports. So Sukkie, over to you, and then Rob. Quick introductions, and then we get into it.
Hi, my name is Sukkie. I support Manchester United. We've been to 5 finals in the last 5 years.
Yeah. How many have you won, though?
Really?
I can't talk. Anyway, my name's Rob. As you see, I'm an Everton fan. I've been an Everton fan since 1984, so we're talking 41 years. It's a long time.
No.
The last time we won a trophy was 95, and I think the last time we were in a final was like 89. So it's been a long time. And in fact, actually, the last time we were in the finals was the FA Cup against Chelsea, which we lost 2-1. But our time will come. Our time will come.
Yeah, it's welcome. It's welcome. But it requires investments into the club. We'll get to that in the course of our conversation. But guys, the Premier League has been back for 3 weeks. We've seen 3 match weekends. We've seen, good games. We've seen. I mean, it's exciting for football to be back to fans. That's how we spend. That's how we spend our weekends. This weekend especially is boring because there's no Premier League.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about Premier League this morning.
That's why we're having this conversation at this time.
It is true.
So I just want to get your thoughts on how you think the 3 weekends have gone. What do you think? What teams have impressed you the most? Let's start from that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first. I mean, I sort of made a couple of notes here for me. I'll start with Spurs. I think based on where they finished last season, yes, okay, they did win that European trophy that's given them Champions League, which obviously has helped them to invest more heavily in their squad. I think Kudus is a great signing. I think Kolo Muani, who came in on transfer deadline day, will make a real impact. But yes, you expect them to beat Burnley, but I mean, how Burnley performed in the Championship last season, it's not an easy task. I know it was at home, but then going away to City and taking them 2-0, despite the investment that they've put in, I think was very impressive. However, saying that, the team that has impressed me so far is really Sunderland. I think everyone says the Championship teams coming up will go down. It's happened for the last 2 seasons. But, they've started off with some very impressive wins, 3-0 against West Ham, 2-1 against Brentford. Yes, they lost to Burnley, but, we just talked about Burnley. They did dominate the Championship last season, so nothing to be ashamed of there. I think they've recruited well. Granit Xhaka is a great addition to their midfield, lots of experience, especially with Arsenal. And the sort of the person that's come in, and the other one, Habib Diarra from Strasbourg, very, very strong midfielder. I was hoping he'd come to Everton, but they got him first. But I think their transfer deadline day business has been very impressive. Brian Broby reminds me a lot of Lukaku. He's been linked with Everton in the past, and I thought he would be a good addition. And then they've got Bertrand Traore, who I think is ex-Aston Villa. very impressive winger. And I think with those additions, I'd be surprised if they are in the bottom three, as I would have predicted at the start of the season. So that's my team. That's the team that's impressed me the most. And I'd say the manager, I've had to write it down, read the list or Brist or whatever it is, but never really heard of him. But what an impact he's having. And yeah, great performance from Sunderland so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, yeah.
Suki, how about you? Yeah.
I honestly, I want to echo a lot of what he said. The straight answer is Sunderland for me. Absolutely Sunderland. They're just not winning. They're playing good football, right? So tactically, they're playing really good football. Their first three games, yes, they lost to Burnley. We struggled against Burnley, Manchester United. But, I mean, their first three games, you can see that they're a well-organized team front to back or back to front, So definitely Sunderland for me. But, I have to give it to Spurs as well. Honestly, I didn't predict this first three games for Spurs. I didn't see this coming, especially because I felt, okay, yes, they added a couple of players to their squad, but I didn't think they were going to do much. Thomas Frank is really doing a good job at Spurs. So definitely Spurs for me. And then Everton, bringing in Grealish and Dewsbury Hall, you can see they're stretching teams on the wings, and it's very hard to play against Everton right now. I mean, looking at their first three games, I mean, they lost one game, yes, but they've won their first two games. So for me, those three teams are the ones that have impressed me the most, but Sunderland above all.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you guys, but for me, maybe it would be a surprise to people. I've been impressed by Liverpool. And the reason is that, I mean, when you win the championship, everybody is coming for you. Coupled with the fact that Liverpool did a lot of business this summer. And, it takes time for a coach to get his instructions to a new team, to get the team to gel together. But they haven't looked anything like a new team. It's just been like a continuation of where they stopped last season. I thought the Arsenal game was going to test them, which it did. But I think they found answers in a different way. And also remember, just before that game, they played Newcastle, who played really well that day, especially going down to 10 men. So they found answers in different ways. And I think Arne Slot is going to find answers to different teams, to different tactics throughout the season. I've been very, very impressed by Liverpool. Of course, we can talk about some of the other clubs as well that have. I mean, for me, I think Spurs, especially because of Thomas Frank, has been very impressive. But the last game that they lost to, I think it was Bournemouth, I was beginning to think, is Spurs beginning to be Spursy again? So quickly.
I mean, it's just three games in, so
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
so,
honestly speaking, I'm not disagreeing with what you said about Liverpool, but for me, I think I didn't expect anything sort of excellent from Liverpool, honestly. So for me, I'm coming from that perspective where I know that it's a new team and they really haven't even gelled that much. They're still gonna.
They haven't. Yeah.
They haven't even, So I think when you spend 465 million pounds, you better.
No,
that's why I can't give you any credit.
Come and go talk to Chelsea the last two seasons because just spending money doesn't really guarantee success in a team. It takes time sometimes. So
we spent the most in the last 10 years, and nothing to show for it.
So still staying with the theme of the first three match weekends. What match caught your attention? What do you think was the best match we've seen of the games played so far?
Well, I think you've touched on it. I mean, I have to say I haven't watched too much football at the start of this season. I tend to watch most of the Everton games, but I think you've sort of touched on it. The Newcastle-Liverpool game. Real passion, 10 men. They took Liverpool right to the edge, and then that fairy tale finish by a 16-year-old kid coming on and scoring in the 98th minute. I mean, that's the way to win a game and make your name in a football club. So, he will be forever remembered. I can't remember his name. If I've been honest, I forgot to write it down as well. But he was making.
His name is Rio.
Rio, of course.
Yeah.
and he was scoring. He was scoring goals against I think the Italian teams, or it was a Spanish team in pre-season. So he's clearly got it in his locker. Just to use a football term there, and I think when you go back through the history of the Premier League, games Newcastle Liverpool always seem to produce classics,
Yeah,
and this is
I
no
agree.
different. So
I agree.
for me, I think that would probably be the standout match of the ones that I have seen.
Okay.
And,
Sukkie, do you have
and
any
for
other
me,
voice to take it
this
upon?
is probably going to be a surprise for you guys, and it's not because I support Manchester United, but that Arsenal United game, I was truly impressed with the way Man U played. I could not believe that from start to finish, Man U dominated the game, kept the pressure on. I mean, I haven't seen that Manchester United in a very, very, very long time. So for me, even though they went on and lost the game, fair enough. But the fact that they played so passionately, so tactically, they approached the game very professionally. I haven't seen that in a very, very long time. So for me,
Yeah.
that was my match.
I like the Liverpool Arsenal game very, very, very much for a number of reasons. I think that it was an early test of two clubs that has the potential to win the title. And I was kind of looking for the tactical play, so to speak. I was looking for how the managers will approach the game, and they were both very cagey. Like,
Yeah.
come play us, you can have the ball. We'll sit back and see what you do. I was particularly impressed by by Liverpool. Sorry, who I've not seen this in a while. They let Arsenal dominate that game, and you could tell that it was deliberate. Have the ball, don't worry, we'll be compact at the back, and we will take our chances or chance when it comes. And that was exactly what happened. That game was decided by brilliance, by someone's
I want to see
brilliance.
magic, magic.
And that was it, So for that reason, I mean that game caught my attention. And
Yeah.
to the last point on this, who do you think has been the standout? And I think there are many standout players so far. But who
I'll
would you, if
start.
you were to pick one player, who would you pick so
I'll pick.
far in
I'll
the league?
start with this one. And honestly, I have to pick two. Estevio for me, Estevio, and Josh King in Fulham. Look out for those two guys.
You are going for the youngies.
Yeah, look out for those two guys. Yeah, look out for those two guys because they are
Yeah.
playing consistently and they are playing very well. So look out for those two guys.
Rob, what do you think? Yeah.
Well, I again made a couple of notes. So Reinders from City, he looked as if he was going to become an absolute beast from the get-go. His last couple of games haven't been so strong, but he did earn me some good fantasy points when I had him in the first week or two, so I'll take that one. Grealish is an obvious choice just on the impact he's had on the Everton team. Obviously, that is my team, so I'm quite keen on that. 4 assists in 2 games. It's the first time an Everton player has scored or has assisted two goals in consecutive games as a starting player. I think he'd only done 2 assists for City in the last 2 seasons. It's got him a Player of the Month nomination, and if he does get that, that'll be the first Everton player to have a sort of a Player of the Month award since Calvert-Lewin in 2020. So that's a big thing for Everton.
Wow.
And actually, Everton players have only won this award 8 times in the duration of the Premier League. So, that will tell you how impressive he'll have been. But sticking with Everton, the player that has impressed me the most, and you've touched on it as earlier, Sukkie, is Dewsbury Hall. Grealish is the big name, so the focus is on him. I think Dewsbury Hall's gone about his business very quietly, but very efficiently. A great assist and goal in the last game. He looks the part. I can understand why he couldn't break into the Chelsea team, but I'm very glad that Chelsea sold him to us. I was always impressed with him when he was at Leicester a couple of seasons ago, and I think he probably could have done a really good job for Chelsea, but the amount of you've spent on midfielders, it was understandable. He was sort of a bit part player role, but in the European competitions where he did get his chance to shine, he did. And I think Moyes made a very, very astute signing bringing him in. So for me, he's my stand-up player of the early season.
Yeah, I mean, all great names. For me, Cunha, at Manchester United. I think that he's shown class in the midst of
Chaos.
not that much quality, right? Yeah, and I think, if United is going to get out of the funk they are in presently, is going to be very instrumental to what happens to that. I think he's really gone about his business really well. He's been used as false nine sometimes, but he's come deep to assist, to create play, and I think he's done really well. The other player is at Chelsea, João Pedro. I think he's had phenomenal impact at the club
Yeah.
as well. He's scored a couple of goals. He's been very instrumental in how the play has built up, especially
Yeah.
the offensive part of the game for Chelsea. So I've been very impressed with him as well. But we see. I mean, again, early days. Just 3 weeks
Early days,
goes,
for sure.
three weekends, and we see how it goes. So
Yeah.
let's switch slightly to the summer business by the clubs, right? One of the excitement of the new season is that you see new faces all around the stadiums. Yeah, like you see this Grealish. When did Grealish join Everton? Right, if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a sense of, from you guys, who do you think had the best window, in the summer? There's been a lot of talk about Liverpool. I tend to agree, but I'm just wondering what you guys think about, summer transfer for different clubs around the Premier League.
Yeah, I think it's hard to argue against Liverpool. Yes, they did spend 400 odd million, but they also recouped a significant part of that. I think over 200 million with the sales of Diaz, and they're very, very clever at getting big money for their sort of reserve team players. I mean, Ben Doak went for nearly 30 million. They're very, very clever at how they generate profit from those players. But Isak, yes, he hasn't played for them yet, but we know what he can do for both Sweden and Newcastle. So I think he will make a very big impact. Etikite has already scored a few goals. I think Wirtz will take some time to bed in, but once he does, we know he's a quality player. He's a £100 million plus player. And again, with Frimpong and Gyökeres, they've shown in the past for their other clubs that they are very, very good at their jobs. I think they're just taking time to acclimatise into the squad, but they will do. And overall, I think they've just made that squad, which was already going to win the title, almost guaranteed. Their only probable blot is not getting Gay. But I think for him personally, it might be a beneficial thing for him. He'll be free agent in the summer. He's going to have the choice of clubs. Barcelona, Madrid are now in for him as well. So it'd be interesting to see whether Liverpool do get him. But I think the winner there is Gay himself. And Palace obviously get him for one more season, which will only help strengthen their position in the Premier League.
They cannot have it all.
No.
No. They can't have it all.
It's true.
I mean, quite frankly, on paper, Liverpool have had the best transfer. On the field, they've shown that they can defend the title, right?
Yeah.
And in just 3 games. So obviously, I'd have to go with Liverpool. But if I think about impact, team impact with transfers, I mean, clearly one of the biggest teams that have been impacted with the transfers is Everton. Those 2 guys came in and immediately the game changed for Everton. Of course, you need a good manager to implement the tactics, and Moyes has done that. I believe, Everton is Moyes' baby, so he would always give his best for Everton. So for me, Liverpool have had the best transfer window. I'm not going to underestimate Arsenal's window as well. They brought in a lot of quality players as well. But I have to give it to Liverpool for real. I just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. But I also want to mention that even though Spurs lost the chance to bring Eze into the club, the fact that they were able to get Kudus, and I think Rob mentioned spoke about this. The fact that they were able to get Kudus and now they have Kolomani coming in would help. But more importantly, I think the fact that they were able to get Thomas Frank from Brentford is going to make a lot of difference to that football club. They've always been a team that has decent quality players. It's always been about the bench, the coach, who is going to get the best out of these guys. But I think they got someone who could do that job and
Yeah.
who could make a difference. I think, if you ask me, with the squad that Tottenham has, playing Champions League, I think they might challenge for the top six this season much better than they did last season.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
let's be on the lookout for that. I have
Absolutely.
some names here that I want you guys to just give me your opinion, one word opinion, whether you think that these guys are going to be a hit or a flop at the football club. We start with Ekitike to Liverpool. What do you think? Hit or flop? I mean,
Hit.
obviously, we're looking forward.
Hit.
We don't know. We're just trying to project
Hit.
and predict, right?
Although it'd be interesting to see what his game time is impacted in terms of
Isaac. Yeah.
Isaac, yeah. Okay. Eze to Arsenal.
Hit.
Future hits. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's really played many minutes, has he? So yeah,
He hasn't played it. Yeah. So, but hit. I'll go for hit.
I'd say the same.
Liam Delap to Chelsea.
Oh, I'm going to say miss.
Miss? Okay.
He should have chosen a team like Everton. You know, I know he was impressed. He talked to Everton. For me, a season or two at a team of sort of Everton's level would have made him the star man, as he was at Ipswich. I think he could have really developed his game. He's going to play second fiddle to players like Pedro. Of course, he's
exactly.
injured.
Yeah.
He's going to miss a couple of months, which will further impact him. Now he can't help that, and whether he played for Everton or Chelsea, you know, he could still have that injury. But for me, I think he made the wrong choice.
So
I think so. I think he should have gone to United as well, because I thought they wanted him. I think it would have. I see him fit more into that team with Konya playing behind him. I think it would have been more effective. Chelsea, I'm on the bench. I obviously want him to do really well, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So
Sukkie, you're going to say something.
I won't talk too much about Liam Delap, but for me, Delap will struggle if he doesn't score. Maresca is a ruthless manager. If he doesn't score in a couple more games, he'll be on the bench. And if João Pedro is scoring, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I think it's going to be a miss.
Yeah.
All right. Grealish at Everton. Do we even need to talk about that?
Big hit. Yeah.
But the question is Everton going to buy him on a permanent deal? Because he's on loan right now, right?
He is, and I'm not so sure. We've bought Dibbling in. I think Dibbling, we perhaps overpaid for him. 40 million is quite a lot, and the sell on clause as well in terms of that. But Dibbling has a huge potential, quite a high ceiling, I think. And if he can develop over this season to kind of play the role that Grealish plays, would we spend 50 million on a 30-year-old? We don't have the funds to do that, and I'd love him to stay. I just don't know whether we can afford him. That's my fear. But big hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. Great player. What do you think is going to be the outcome there?
I'm not sure I'm going to say hit for this one because, Liverpool have a lot of talent in that same position. So,
yeah. I've put not now, but I think longer term he will be.
Okay.
I think long as he's got the talent
to get that chance though. Because
you
don't pay so much for a player.
The expectation is you're gonna be, you're gonna hit the ground running. So are the fans gonna be patient?
I mean, until Isak, he's the highest transfer fee.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they will. I think they'll give him time to adapt. We know the Premier League is a difficult one for foreign players coming in to get up to speed. Although the German league is a very similar one to us, so you'd hope that it wouldn't take him that long to adapt. But also the pressure of playing for a club as big as Liverpool. Sukkie, you'll know it. Big players go for United and they don't hit the ground running because that overwhelming pressure is big, and not all of them can actually make it and work through. But I think Wirtz has got the quality to come good in the end. But for now,
let me say one thing though. So the press in England is brutal. If you miss it, they will destroy you. But the good thing is he can hide behind Liverpool because Liverpool keeps playing good football. So that would help him. That would give him some more time. If he went to a team like Man U, the press would kill him. So, Liverpool is playing good football, so he can hide behind the badge for a little while and nobody sees him. It's very inconspicuous. So
I want to say something on that, but let's keep moving. Gyökeres to Arsenal.
I'd say hit for now. I think he's got his first goals. The rate he scored goals over in Portugal, I can't see him being anything other than a hit.
I disagree a little bit. Ooh. I think that if it's going to be a hit, Arteta has to adjust how he plays. I think this is a guy that expects balls to be dropped from the wings to his head, to his chest. It reminds me, he could play like Drogba, where you expect area balls, win area duels and all that. Arsenal doesn't play that way. Arsenal plays into the box with their tiki-taka football.
True.
And if he's going to be part of that, I think they have to sort of modify the play. I mean, that's just my
And to look at the first goal he scored, he had to go and get the ball from the midfield and he scored his own goal.
Yeah. True.
And I think the opponent gave him that goal. It was an easy goal, honestly. Yeah. But hey, that's a Chelsea fan talking. The Arsenal fans will disagree with that. And then finally Cunha to Man U.
Hit.
I'd say a miss right now. Right now, I'd say a miss. Missing the penalty against Grimsby. I have to get that in there somewhere. And I know it's not. I know it's not Premier League, but second division team.
Awful, actually, that was terrible. Yeah. That was terrible.
I think Cunha. We've seen Cunha for Wolves in the last couple of seasons. He can be a little bit petulant, a little bit hot-headed, but if he can keep that under control, he's got the ability to score some incredible goals. I think he will be a hit longer term for United. But I think Mbeumo has made the more impressive start for me of those two.
I would agree. I think he's going to be a hit. I think he's going to be instrumental to turning things around for United. Yeah. Well, assuming that Amorim stays in place. If a new coach comes in, who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows?
So finally, to wrap up the transfer business,
yes.
When I was thinking about this, I couldn't help but think about the Isak transfer and how he literally forced his way out of Newcastle in a way that, every football pundit and professional would tell you that's not the way to do things. But he managed to get it done. And I was comparing that to what happened to Victor Osimhen at Napoli, going, eventually having to go to the Turkish league. To the Turkish league for 2 seasons, because obviously he tried again in this transfer window to maybe come to England or go to other clubs. That wasn't successful. If you look at what is going on with Ademola Lookman, who is currently the best African player, and he's not been able to get out of Atlanta. He's back there again, and I think he's going to have a miserable season if nothing is worked out between him and the football club. And finally, looking at Magui, who was quiet about it, didn't want to force the issue. The transfer didn't happen for him, even though you would argue that he's a great fit for that Liverpool defense. So why did it work out for Isak and it's not working out for these other players?
So for Magay, obviously we know what happened with that one. I mean, I listened to what Rio Ferdinand said about Magay. He said he knows him personally, and the guy has a very phenomenal character. So obviously he wouldn't force a move. He's a very professional guy. He knows his time will come. Very heartbroken that he wasn't able to make that move. For Isak, I think, first of all, the difference is this is the Premier League and that was the Serie A. Right. The Premier League, obviously, there's more fanfare, there's more publicity, there's more, we know how the British press is. So he was able to force that because at the end of the day, Isak is was really hyped. We saw what he did for Newcastle over the last couple of seasons. So obviously, and then I think the key difference is Liverpool really wanted him. So I think that's the key difference. When the team really, really wants you, then when you throw tantrums, the team is backing you up. So the team really wanted him. I think it's a big difference. I mean, I don't think any other team wanted Osimhen as desperately as Liverpool wanted Isak. So
correct.
Fair point.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add on that one. I mean, for me, I don't particularly like seeing players doing what Isak did to force that move. I think it's quite disrespectful to the fans. But you know, when you think about it rationally and you take your sort of fan hat off, if we're in a job and another job opportunity comes along and they really want you and they offer you more money, you're going to go for it. And it's no different in this situation. But it's because we're also passionate about our team and we support our team that we expect the players to have the same connection and love for the club that we do as fans. And of course, they don't. They're employees. Now, I'm not saying that all football players are like that, but it's still not the best way to go about it. And, you know, they'll always drudge up things that they said only like a couple of months ago. I think when he scored the winner for the Carabao Cup final, and it's like, this is the only place I want to play or whatever. And then, you know, a couple of months later on, you say, I don't want to play for this. So, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, I think, if you're a footballer. But it isn't the right way to do it, in my opinion. But he got his move. And if he hadn't, what would have happened to him? You know, it's very difficult for the fans to welcome him back. And how do you reintegrate into the team? I've heard different professionals say that professionals would welcome him back, but then you hear Wayne Rooney saying for him that would be a no-no and it would cause unrest in the dressing room. So the outcome is probably the best for all involved, but it's not the right way to go about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, nothing more to add there. It's just the pattern is causes. I mean, you can't help but see what's going on here. Are some players being treated differently than others? Sukkie, you mentioned Liverpool really wanted him. At some point, when they got Ekitike, I thought, okay, they won't be that desperate to get
back
Isak.
down.
Maybe we were wrong. But yeah, I mean, we'll leave that there. All right, thank you, Sukkie. Thank you, Rob and Sukkie, for an insightful and engaging conversation today. And that's it for us today on this episode of TRU Bench. We hope to bring another guest next weekend, just before the Premier League comes back. So we look forward to that. Rob, thank you so much for joining. I'm sure we'll call you again. Hopefully, when Everton is doing very well, sometimes during the season.
Absolutely. It was phenomenal. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you next time.
Take care.
All right. Bye. Cheers. Yeah.